I've just been informed we're moving on to my producer says that, get this straight, we need to move on to the Ethan Klein segment so we have enough time to finish it today. And, I'm just now getting word. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. On the Instagram. Crashing out. Crashing out on the Instagram. Again. Uh-huh. No, I don't have a producer chat. I'm making a joke. No. If I had a producer, I'd be living in East Palisades, aka being evacuated, okay? Yeah, and I don't know why, but went after Caroline, even though she's never spoken about him ever. Caroline, get behind me.
I just have to say something. I don't comment on Ethan, okay? But I saw his post where there were fires that were close by his house, and he mentioned like he was still thinking of Hasan, and it honestly made me sad. Like, I'm not trying to do the whole, okay, as somebody who has now had to evacuate, like I'm not trying to like, I don't want to center myself in everything that's happened because there are people who have experienced worse. But truly, as someone who has seen smoke and flames practically in my backyard, the idea of thinking about somebody, the idea of thinking about anything other than a plan of safety is not fathomable. And I will just
Yeah, I have to say the fact that he for anyone who missed it, I can't believe it wasn't satire. And the fact that he didn't say in this that it was satire means that he actually meant it, which is fucking insane. And for anyone who missed it, let me see if I can pull it up. Ethan Klein. He unironically put this on his Instagram story, which is, again, it's fucking crazy to me. Outside our window, it's close, but we're safe for now. Wind is blowing away from us. Hasan for sure hoping the fire takes out my computer. Ethan Klein, while his family is under threat of evacuation or worse, can only think of Hasan and the impending video trashing Hasan that he's soon to release. I think we can all safely say Hasan is not thinking about Ethan, especially not right now. What an absolute ghoul. Like, this is, I think, this is a thing that actually, and I don't think Ethan Klein is a right winger. I think he's just like a narcissistic asshole. But this is a thing that right wingers really like to do. Again, I'm not saying Ethan Klein is a right winger. I'm saying he's a narcissistic asshole. But this is a strategy that the right likes to employ. That is a very big self report where they will frequently say, yeah, well, I bet if the roles were reversed and the shoe was on the other foot, you would want me to suffer. It's like, what? No. No, I wouldn't actually. No, just because you voted for Trump doesn't mean I think you should die of cancer because you can't afford the medical debt. No, I don't. I want you, regardless of what your positions are, I think you are a victim of your system. I don't want you to get into crippling medical debt. I don't want to expand suffering. Again, I'm not saying that Ethan Klein is a right winger. I'm not saying he voted for Trump. I'm not saying that. I'm only describing the mentality behind the type of people that say shit like that, namely right wingers. That they like to say that other people would do this thing when other people wouldn't do this thing. I don't think Ethan Klein actually like really believes in anything. I think he believes that like Israel and Palestine should just like kumbaya as long as all the Hamas operatives apologize and give themselves up to the authority. And I think his understanding of everything else is pretty mediocre. Because I mean, he doesn't do politics and isn't interested in politics. He wants to shitpost on the internet and make comedy. That's his words. His words. Um, They're just so selfish, they can't imagine other people not being selfish, yeah. Like and I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but I don't think I need to say it, but just in case I need to say it, no, I would not want anyone's house to burn down and for them to lose, like, countless years of work and memories and lose their home. I don't want that to happen to anyone. Maybe, like, if it happened to, like you know, politicians that I don't care for. If Nancy Pelosi's house and her $8,000 fridge burned down, I'm not gonna shed a tear because of a natural forest fire. If her house burned down from a natural forest fire, I'm not gonna start sobbing and being like, "How could this happen to her? Oh my god, it's so sad." I don't care about that. Like, no, I couldn't give a fuck about that. I'm not gonna pray that it happens. I'm not gonna hope that it happens. There's no one's house that I'm like excited or hoping that it's gonna burn down. That's fucking weird. That's objectively bizarre. And no, no one is hoping that your computer I for sure am not. I want to see how funny this video is gonna be. This video is gonna be it's gonna be so good. This Hasan video is gonna be like, look, here he is supporting terrorists, and the video is gonna be him saying, yeah, I think that like, the people in Palestine, shouldn't be under constant threat of getting killed. As you can see, very clear video showing evidence and proof of terrorist ideology, terrorist rhetoric. Have you seen the edited versions of this picture? Yes, yes. And I thought this quote too was good. Ethan Klein, while his family, yeah, sorry, not this one. It seems Hasan was actually more focused on saving his friends from the fire than thinking about Ethan Klein. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did she forget Hasan live streamed her evacuation? Also, Caroline said before that she didn't know Hasan was live streaming, but she thought it was weird that he saw his streamer voice on when she called him. So apparently every woman is responsible for Hasan. Yes. She even made fun of him for it, but she still appreciated it and ultimately didn't really care. He just already had his live stream stuff set up. He was in the middle of live streaming when they called. Yeah. The only instance where I feel like it makes sense to point out, like, live streaming stuff being weird, streamer voice. Yeah, there is such a thing as streamer voice. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's real. I'm sorry to tell you all. Is if you're like, I feel like the people who film like the poverty porn stuff, that feels a little weird. I don't understand what the problem is with him live streaming it. I don't understand what the problem is with Hasan live streaming it. Genuinely, I don't understand. Is it the same as like a call center voice? It's very similar, yeah. I just don't understand who's being harmed. By him live streaming it? I just don't understand. Because it turns the evacuation thing into content. I mean, maybe if you're brain rotted, not you specifically, chatter, but like that would be like saying, oh, streaming the coverage of Gaza is turning it into content. You can cover things critically in a way that is beneficial to the majority of people watching it, that is informational, that is a documentation of the things that are happening. I think if you're sensationalizing it and Mr. Beastifying it, like, all Caroline Kwan needs to do is jump through 500 hoops and I will help evacuate her. Let's see if she can do it. Then I'd be like, that's, weird. That's weird. That's insane. That's weird. But it's not like, I don't think it's like, I don't think having a live stream running is innately something that's bad. One thing that would be the one thing would be that this is a stressful moment someone might not want to broadcast, but he clearly wasn't directing the filming at them. The news is turning the fire into content. It's basically all they do. If recording bad things is the definition, yeah. If Hasan's title was like getting as close to the deadly fire as possible, then it would be an issue, yeah. Genuinely, I'm not trying to flame you at all, Groutfit, and please nobody else in chat flame Groutfit. I genuinely am asking because I'm curious about your perspective. Love Abby, but he should have put a BRB note over some news coverage or something. Why? Again, I'm not flaming. I don't want anyone else to flame you. I'm genuinely asking, why is your reason for wanting that? His attitude was weird. He was making jokes and shit. Two things. One, I feel obligated to mention the fact that people deal with different situations differently. And I personally think that using jokes as a way of lightening a situation is good. But, and also very normal. It's a very normal response to any type of stress. And two, then your issue is about how he did it, not that he did it. If your issue currently, what you're saying is that his attitude was weird and that he was making jokes and shit, that doesn't have to do with the fact that he streamed it. You're criticizing how he did it. So I want to, is it that you don't like how he did it, or is it that you don't like that he did it? And if you don't like that he did it, period, what innately is wrong about live streaming that? I'm like trying to think. I'm trying to think of like a good argument as to why he shouldn't have streamed it, or why it was worse that he streamed it. Because you also have to take into account the value of like showing people that they should help their friends and family, and that they should take the evacuation seriously, and that's actually a net positive. And I'm trying to think of like a negative to streaming it, and I'm struggling to come up with one. Even Will was like, we just had to evacuate. What does this have to do with the live stream? Been watching him since 2020, important voice, and I'll continue to support him. I just found it weird. Yeah, I'm asking you, what about streaming that evacuation is weird? And also the question is open to anyone else in chat. Like I genuinely want to have I want to have the best positions whenever I can. So I'm like trying to think about it, and I'm like, if we were to write like a pro con list, right? Pros of streaming it. Continued coverage. Showing viewers what evacuation looks like. So anyone who is in the area, anyone who's in the affected areas knows that they can reach out to friends and family members and be like, hey, if you need a place to evacuate. Maybe someone who didn't have that thought initially is like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. I really should. I do have the room for like one more person, which is good. Encouraging that behavior is good, and I think has a net positive. I'm trying to think of like what the con of streaming it is. And I'm coming up blank. Let me think a little harder. Because you can criticize how it was done, but that's not being upset that it happened. That's being upset about how it happened. Yes, this I agree with. Ultimately, the con would be whether or not Will were bothered by it, but seemingly they weren't. Yeah, that's like a qualifier. I'm talking about one that's always true, right? Because that's again like how it was done. Will was surprised Hasan was streaming. I might have checked with them before streaming while they're going through a tough time. Yeah, and I agree with that. I think that that's a valid criticism. I think that that's a fair, valid criticism. Maybe just safety, being worried about the stream could be distracting from driving in a chaotic situation. I mean, if he was reading the chat, right? Are you being intentionally obtuse? I mean, considering that I've said multiple times, I'm genuinely asking no. So I don't know why you got to be rude about it. Filming someone in a traumatic moment is weird behavior. I'm not saying whether or not it's weird. You can think it's weird or not weird. Some people put fucking salt on their tomatoes and they eat them like apples. That's fucking weird. I'm talking about an objective con. Like, what is the genuinely wrong thing about doing that? Those are different things. Right? I'm not arguing that people can't see it as weird and it's totally normal. I mean, the entire concept of live streaming is fucking weird. Let's just get that straight for a second.
I don't think you're going to find an absolute on this, since Will and Caroline could have said don't stream it, and Shatters could simply just look away for 20 minutes. Being a super good friend doesn't violate TOS.
I think it would be con if like they didn't want to be live streamed and then they were live streamed anyways. That seems like that's a shitty thing to do. Or like streaming strangers, then that feels like poverty porn. Streaming your friends who are also streamers who spend a lot of time streaming. Also, Will and Caroline know Hasan is 127, streams the whole day. They're grown people. They could have said something if they needed to. Yeah. Did I say streaming while you're streaming? Sorry, misspeak. Did I accidentally? I might have made a little mistake. We're good. IMO, if you're evacuating a friend, they may be emotional and have to perform for stream, may take away from the attention you can give them. But if everyone in the car was fine and it wasn't a problem, I think the content brain turns off regular people. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I think the other problem is like, I try very hard to not get super parasocial about content creators doing stuff. Like, I try really hard to not do the, isn't there someone you forgot to ask? And I think like my nightmare is finding out that I did this and that I was being cringe. And unless there is a good reason why I am disagreeing, unless I have a principled position on why I disagree with the action in question, I struggle to not see myself like this, where it's like, I guess in this instance, on the left, it would be Hasan being like, I consent to streaming. And on the right, it'd be like Will and Caroline being like, I consent to being live streamed. And then me being like, yeah, well, it's weird and bad and wrong. It's like, that, I don't know that I can speak for other people that way. That feels, I don't have the heart to do that. I don't have that heart. Which is why I was asking genuinely, and I haven't been anything other than genuine here, asking, is there something that I'm missing? Is there a serious con that I've missed here that is actually causing harm? Thanks for approaching it as a conversation as opposed to jumping down my throat. I mean, listen, there are chatters that come in here and it's very obvious that they're just trying to start shit, and those chatters I will immediately shit down their throat. But I didn't see you as someone who was trying to do that, right? I'm just criticizing how it was done. Yeah, okay, then I agree with that. I agree with that being a valid frustration. I didn't personally watch the stream, so I don't know how well the stream was done. So I can just take your word for it. But yeah, I think you're allowed to be like, I just didn't like how it was done. I think that that's fair. I think that that's valid. Well, anyways, that was a fun side topic. Yeah. That was a fun side topic. Yeah, he had his camera down for most of it. The camera literally fell. Yeah. That makes sense to me. All right. Okay. Well, moving on. Now that we're past that. So did she forget Hasan live streamed her evacuation? Get a grip, you dumb fucking gremlin. It's a joke. You think because of one sentence in an Insta story, it means I'm not thinking of my family. Also, you're not special. We all have smoke and flames in our backyard. Welcome to LA. What? Wait, but there's like a massive difference between someone who had to evacuate and someone who hasn't had to evacuate. What? Also, she explicitly said, like, I think she did a lot in the clip to try and show that she wasn't trying to make herself the center of attention, and she wasn't actively trying to make herself seem special. But I would say between the two people here, Ethan Klein and Caroline, I think having to evacuate, period, is just worse and more stressful. What? That's so bizarre to me. You should go back to not commenting on me. Actually, don't comment on anything ever. Get away from her. Get a job. Dude, you're such a baby. For someone who's been on the internet for a decade, not me, but Ethan Klein, the fact that he's been on the internet for a decade and he's still this thin-skinned is crazy. It's crazy, dude. It's so insane to me. This is such baby behavior, dude. Fuck. And I'm not trying to defend him. Internet seems to have broken him. Yeah, it's really sad. Also, Caroline can hold her own. She could have said a lot more. She doesn't hold back. I'm thinking of my family too, but also this is normal in LA. Also, for anyone who missed it, this clip was not scathing.
I just have to say something. I don't comment on Ethan, okay? But I saw his post where there were fires that were close by his house, and he mentioned like he was still thinking of Hasan. And it honestly made me sad. Like, I'm not trying to do the whole, okay, as somebody who has now had to evacuate, I'm truly, I'm not trying to like, I don't want to center myself in everything that's happened because there are people who have experienced worse. But truly, as someone who has seen smoke and flames practically in my backyard, the idea of thinking about somebody, the idea of thinking about anything other than a plan of safety.
It's sad because I think Ethan Klein really thinks that saying it's a joke rebuts any of what she said. The fact that you made that joke means you were thinking about Hasan. Like, you are the meme of like Mrs. Puff in the straitjacket with Hasan on four walls. You had to think about him to make that joke. No one is saying that you meant it seriously, or no one has to say that you meant it seriously, but in a time of actual danger when people are losing their lives and their homes and their pets and all of their valuable, irreplaceable things, that you're like, oh, let me tweet a joke out. Let me Instagram story out a joke. Hasan, yes. Okay, let me think. I bet Hasan wants my computer to burn down. You had to think about it, which is exactly what you said. It being a joke, honestly, I think everyone would be concerned if it was anything other than a joke. If you actually meant it, like, you would need medical help.
Is not fathomable. And I will just
He's such a baby. Denims got mad at me once. I bet she wants my house to explode. Ela not intervening on his behavior is insane to me. I mean, I think it makes sense to me. Crunchy, what was that? Sorry, I was eating a chip. Me when I make a joke, you dumb fucking gremlin. That's sad, man. See, this is why every once in a while someone will come in chat and they'll be like, why does this matter? It doesn't, okay? It fucking doesn't. I don't run a show about things that matter. I run a show about the things I want to talk about and the shit I want to talk, all right? And that's all this stream has ever been, and if you've mistaken it for anything else, you are a fool, okay? You're a fool. This is a stream where I talk about the things that matter to me and the things that I like to laugh about, all right? One such example, one thing that I enjoy making fun of, people like this, people like Ethan Klein, who I feel like they've gotten away with just like, I want to be careful with my words here because I don't want to suggest that he's threatening, because threat is too strong of a word, but people have gotten away with just like being bullies on the internet for a very, very long time. And that they can just go around telling everyone to stop talking about them. I think intimidating is more of a word, or sorry, intimidating is a better word than threatening, because there is no threat, right? It's just like, stop talking about me. You shouldn't talk about me. And I don't think it's, you know what? I think there should be people that continue to talk about it, even as much as it makes him pissed off. I don't care. I don't think it's fair that you get to bully other people on the internet and everyone's too afraid to bully you. Fuck you. I am not too afraid to bully you. I will bully you gladly for being a total fucking moron all the time. Dude, what? Thank you for the tier 1. Thanks. Calling Caroline a dumb gremlin and telling her not to comment on anything screams misogyny. He brings up how Hasan streamed evacuating them and how they should be mad, but obviously they're not. It's ridiculous, really mean. Yeah, it's very condescending. I also just like on a
Ethan
personal
Klein
level.
Is the biggest cry bully on the internet. Elon had to pay for the Ditman account, but Ethan has brainwashed his simps into harassing PPL for free.
This post, Ezo Star. I have like a very big gripe with cry bullies. I hate the type of people that are like everything that happens to them is totally wrong and immoral, and you're a terrible person for ever even thinking of trying to be mean to someone like that. But they're allowed to be mean to whoever they want. Fuck you. No. Actually, no. Other people should be mean to you, okay? Other people should get to be mean to you because you say stupid shit, which gives everybody else the opportunity to make fun of you. Fuck you. Actually, fuck you. No. Anyways, let's see what the rest is. Also, isn't she doing the exact same thing she's accusing me of? Why are you thinking about me at a time like this? With a fire and a genocide happening, how selfish can you be? Huh? You're talking about a close friend of hers. What? You ever insult someone's like close friends or best friends and they'd be like, whoa, I can't believe you're firing back. Aren't you obsessed with me? Reverse Uno card. Like, what? What? You're the one throwing the temper tantrum. Denims, you need to be more understanding. He doesn't have any friends, so he doesn't know how it works. Give him a break. Sorry, you're right. My bad. You're right. My bad. My bad. You're right. You're right. Yeah, let me attack you, but how dare you fight back? Imagine being mad at me while your friend live streamed the most stressful, traumatizing event of your life without even asking permission or telling you ahead of time during a genocide, but Ethan made one joke on a story and he just shouldn't piss myself, be for real. Oh, he looks so immature, dude. Oh, man. 3 post question marks, petty jab about a genocide. Oh my God, dude. Oh God, dude, stop posting. Anyone with friends can see that you're being cringe, man. Fuck. Stop. Oh my God, dude. Please get a hobby, man. Get a hobby that isn't being on the internet like a freak. I can't believe how right I was, chat. He really is like the ex that like doesn't want to get over you about Hasan. Like it's like he lost that relationship and he is the clingy ex. It's so sad. It's really sad. I can't believe I fucking nailed it months ago. Jesus. Scorned lover. Yeah. Also, you don't even know her. You don't know what the most stressful, traumatizing event of her life was. What the hell? She's a grown woman. I think she's had a lot of traumatizing things happen to her. I think it's weird to be like, this is the most traumatizing one. What?
Thank you.
How are you guys feeling? Traumatized a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh damn! It's got that nice smoky scent outside.
Are you streaming?
I am, yeah.
You're absolutely insane.
I'm an insane person. Anyway,
I was muted because I was snacking on chips. No, dude, no. I'm posting cringe on main. Sorry that all of my friends are beautiful ladies. Okay? Sorry that my Instagram feed has lots of beautiful women on it. Sorry. You don't sound sorry? Anyways, I'm so sorry. I just remembered something. I just realized something. That Caroline Kwan clip was like a minute. And she basically doesn't talk about him ever. One, how did he see that? Do you think he has like ops out there? Oh, it was on LSF? Was it on LSF? Okay, okay. That makes sense. Damn. Checking LSF every day. Oh, bro. No, man. No, dude, you're making your condition worse. You're making your condition worse, man. Stop. Stop, man. Dude, stop. Get some help. He also watches Hasan. Yesterday, he said that he was watching Hasan play Marvel Rivals. You're joking. That's fake. No. No, no, nope. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. That's too pathetic. That's too pathetic, even for that guy. No. Mm-mm. Post clip. That's too pathetic. I've been linking to it. House of Phobia. As the fire nears his house, he turns on Hasan as his cozy stream. This chatter's a truther.
Couldn't come later.
Actually, I was watching Hasan play that game for my research. That actually looks pretty cool.
For research?
Yeah, because he does this thing where he goes, how can I address criticism at a time when genocide's happening? And then like the next day he's playing Marvel Rivals all day.
He
It's like-
sucks at the game.
Really?
Would you be
I
down
watched
to
a bit. I was like, he's ass, bro.
would you be down to settle the beef with a 1v1?
I think from what I've heard of his skill level, I mean, I've seen you play FPS. You're surprisingly good, Ethan. I think you could probably.
After I got smoked by Love after Counter-Strike?
Yeah, but that's like his
Embarrassing.
game.
Yeah,
That's his game.
that
That'd be
was
like
like
challenging me to
Homeport.
Halo 3.
Yeah.
Like, it's not happening.
One of you guys could be Captain America, and the other one could be Iron Man. That could
I
be like
guess
Civil
I've
War.
been here for a while.
Right.
Nah, it's
Well,
we
you
gotta
used to play
settle. We gotta
Overwatch,
settle
right?
this on the streets.
No, no. This is AI. This is an AI clip, guys. This is a very good AI clip. That's not real. This is too sad. This is too pathetic. No, dude. No. I'm dreaming. I'm in a coma. I'm in a coma, or this is AI. This is too pathetic to admit. No. Someone wake me up. Come on, guys. All right. Wake me up. All right. I did think the Trump presidency was too weird to happen, to be real. You guys can wake me up now. I'm ready to wake up. I'm ready to wake up, guys. This can't be real. This can't be real. Can't wake up. Wake me up. The lick spittle behavior. Does anyone think Ethan is any good at games? Dude, Mike chat. 1 glaze. I will give 1 glaze. All right. 1 glaze. Mike is surprisingly good at video games. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't aware of your game. I wasn't aware with your game. I I know you were like that, man. I'm fuck. Respect. Credit where credit is due. Credit where credit is due. Good for a 40-year-old or actually good? No, like good, like actually good. Like Mike could climb to diamond solo queuing easily. Easily. One game. We played 5, 6 games. And you can, it's just like, anyone here is particularly good at any particular sport or any video game or anything like that. Real, recognize real. I've played enough video games that, like, especially arcade shooters like that, and anyone in here who's played enough video games and has gotten okay at a game, money is tight, just straight up paid to say this. I'm not joking. Just really quick, a glaze for a friend of the channel. There's a couple of things that are very obvious that people who are good at games do and people who are bad at games don't do. And the most important one is like being a W gamer, not like W as in wins, but W as in W on your keyboard as in going forward. If you are struggling in your games, probably the thing that you are struggling with the most is that you don't push advantages and you play like a pussy. And if you watch any pro gameplay or even like really good gamers, people who are much better than me, that their finger is like, it's crazy glued onto the W key. Like they don't let go of it. It's always being pressed. Easiest example of this in Marvel Rivals or like an Overwatch, the game is a 6v6. The second one team gets a pick, the enemy team or your team should push hard because you're at a huge advantage. They have, at least 15% less players. You should push. If it's a 6v6, think about how hard your games are when someone disconnects. Think about how difficult it is to win a game that's a 5v6. The second your team gets a pick, one pick, everyone on your team should rush into them. And if you watch pro gameplay, this is what they do. You can watch like from like the like high ground or like bird's eye view of like the players in pro games. One person dies, the team that lost a player moves all the way back, and the team that got the pick pushes all the way in. They literally don't let go of their W key. That's like, and that's how you would play if someone on the enemy team disconnected, right? You would play a little bit more crazy because you're like, oh, we have a huge advantage. Are you kidding me? So you should do the same thing in smaller dosage or smaller dosages in any game you're playing when you have a small advantage, because it takes them 5 seconds to respawn and it'll take them at least another 10 seconds to come back. And Mike is a W gamer. I hate to say it. Mike was right. He was. It's true. He's a W gamer. Not to say that you can't win 5v6. I've won my share of 5v6s, but it's a harder game. Play too crazy and you become the pick? Yeah, but like if you're attacking, you have spawn advantage, which is its own thing. But that's just like, I don't want to get too deep into it. I got very invested in Overwatch, and this game is exactly like Overwatch in like the concepts. So yeah. All right, moving on. This is really sad, guys. Sorry, I just remembered where I was and the fact that I was watching this clip, and I'm actually gonna like cry at how sad this is. Jesus Christ, dude. He's stimming. He's watching his comfort stream. He like watches Hasan die in Marvel Rivals and he's like, oh no, that's gore. Gore of my comfort stream. Man, Jesus. All right. Let's get back to it. Oh, man. I like how Dan called it an FPS and it's not an FPS. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about it being a third-person shooter. I don't like that my cursor is on something, but because the camera, you're on the left side of it, you'll still hit things because it's third person. I really don't like that. I think I prefer first-person shooters, but the game is still fun, so.